Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brian Ellis. I'm the publisher of the Brian Ellis Investing Letter and the host of the Self-Directed Investing Radio Show. Thank you for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a good one. I've got some really good stuff for you. You know, we're always looking for new strategies and new techniques to help you grow your real estate business. And well, we've got some really powerful tips we're going to show you on today's training. And I got a really, really exciting guest, somebody I'm very impressed by. And, you know, you guys have known me for a while. It's not particularly easy to impress me, but I want to give everybody an opportunity to jump on board. There's still a lot of people jumping on board right now. We have a very highly over-registered situation right now, and so there's a lot of people still getting on. Thank you all for being here. First, I want to make sure that everybody can hear me. So do me a favor and go over to the little question box there. It's usually down on the right-hand side of your screen. And if you guys can hear me loud and clear, go ahead and type yes in there. Just type yes in the little question box that's usually down on the right-hand side of the screen. All right. Hey, Alan, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. We got a lot of people coming on board. Timothy, Joe, James, Kimberly, Laura. All right. A lot of people getting on board very quickly. We got a whole bunch of people here, so this is great. Now, listen, guys, I've got some really cool stuff for you. And the reason that I've got some cool stuff for you is because you've never seen this before. That's what makes it really exciting. Man, we've got a lot of people coming on. Aloha from Hawaii. Hey, man. And Jack, Jeff, thanks, guys. We got people from all over. All right, just listen up, guys. Here's the cool stuff. Now, I've been investing for a long time and involved in real estate and notes and a number of different areas of investing for some time. And one of the parts of my journey was that I was always interested in finding a way to help other people, you know, go down the road that I've been down, but do it better and do it faster. And I wanted to teach other people how to become independently wealthy through real estate themselves and not be closed-minded and just not share the things that I learned along the way. Well, through that journey, I've met people from all walks of life, you know, from people who barely had 2 pennies to rub together, from all the way to people who had millions of dollars in the bank. You know, what I've learned along the way is this. It does not matter what type of income you earn. It does not matter how much money you have in the bank. At the end of the day, there's this skill set that's built inside of a person that makes them go out and achieve success. It allows them to see opportunities that most people can never even see because they're simply blinded by what they focus on, which is what they don't have, instead of what they really want out of life. And so I had the pleasure to meet a gentleman by the name of Ian Flannigan. Ian got started investing just like everyone else does. He started attending webinars just like you're doing right now. He attended seminars, and he learned how to go out there and do deals. Now, I'm not going to tell Ian's story for him, but I will tell you one of the reasons why Ian was so successful so quickly was because of one thing, his attitude. He said this. He said, he's willing to do whatever he's got to do to make this work for his family and himself. And he always, you know, I always remember that because he didn't say that I'm willing to do this to be successful. He didn't say I'm willing to do this to make $1 million. He knew his purpose, and that was that he wanted to change the lives of himself and his family. But Ian had a unique gift, and that was the ability to get up every morning and push this business forward and just make it happen and be determined and just do it, not talk about it, not think about it, not consider it or ponder it, but just do it. Now, that's allowed Ian to transition from wholesale deals to what you're going to hear about today, hidden cash flow deals. You're going to hear all about that strategy during our time together. And this is what has really impressed me. And so I had to get him on here and share what he's doing with you. So the timing is perfect for it. So without further delay, Mr. Ian Flannigan, are you with me?
Yeah, I sure am, Brian. How are you, bud?
I'm doing really, really good, man. Glad to have you here. How's business treating you these days?
Man, it's been actually great. We're up to our eyeballs in deals and looking to push forward and to just, do as many as we can and grow our business all across the country. So, thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely, man. Without taking any more time, I'm just going to turn it over to you.
All right, sounds good. Well, guys, I want to share a lot of things with you this evening that, didn't work for me so much to say, and kind of tell you a little bit about the trial and errors that I had, trying to go from a newbie investor to trying to get into wholesale deals and into rehabbing and I'll share with you guys a lot of the things that just didn't work out for me. And also kind of transition you into the things that have worked out for me and that I've been successful with and I've been able to replicate over and over. And that's how we've been able to kind of grow our business and then also grow into the position to where we can offer this to other folks across the country. So just kind of take a seat back this evening and make sure you pull out a pen and a piece of paper because I'm going to give you guys a lot of golden nuggets this evening. So I'm going to go ahead and push forward, and here we go. Well, guys, this is my promise to you. I guarantee that you will discover how to create 4 massive cash flow streams from each deal with zero competition. How many of you would love to have zero competition on each deal? Absolutely you would. I'll even show you how to make $1,500 per deal when you don't buy. I mean, this is perfect for the new investor. So just to let you know right here, I am not a trained public speaker. I'm just a humble guy from humble beginnings. I struggled a lot in the beginning, and, it took me a long time to get where I'm at and to kind of figure things out and align myself with the right people. But just to let everybody know, I'm just a real guy in the trenches doing real estate deals. So I just wanted to kind of let you guys know that right out of the gate here. So why do real estate investors fail? I have a lot of opinions. I've heard a lot of other opinions from other investors, but, it's very hard to find high equity deals. There's too much competition between the wholesalers and the rehabbers. The top wholesalers in my market, these guys have 20-man acquisition teams. It's very, very tough to compete with them. And then their buyers, all the rehabbers, these guys are bidding up these properties. And yes, wholesale deals get bid up. If you've been doing it long enough, you've seen it. Another reason why investors fail is, they can't raise money for rehabbing and long-term capital for rentals. In the beginning, it's very tough to raise capital for these 2 different strategies. You just haven't done as many deals as a lot of these other seasoned guys, and the seasoned guys already have their portfolio together, and they have their crews, and they have their money. So it's just real tougher to compete with those guys. There's a long learning curve if you're new and you just don't have an experienced partner. And I experienced that as well in the very beginning. I didn't know who to align myself with. I didn't have an experienced mentor at the time. Another reason why I feel, real estate investors fail is because contractors and unexpected surprises can just put you out of business. And later on here in the presentation, I'm going to show you and talk to you a little bit about a rehab deal that almost absolutely bankrupted our company. And another reason why real estate investors fail is they just aren't properly trained and don't invest in business systems. I didn't understand how to build a business and automate my systems. It took me some time to figure that stuff out, to really learn how to automate a business and put systems in place. So I like to call this the autopilot system. It saves yourself time, energy, and money. It absolutely does. Do you think the most powerful company on the planet, most profitable, Apple, do you think that they have some business systems and, within their organization? Yes, they absolutely do. That's what's so great about these hidden cash flow fortune deals. I call this my hidden cash flow fortune system. Creates 4 massive cash flow streams from zero competition. Guys, I am not contingent on meeting cash buyers, private money for rehab, high equity deals, all the wholesaling and rehabbing and all the other stuff that comes along with the other strategies. The hidden cash flow fortune system, it doesn't depend on all these other things to get your deals done. That's what I love about this. So how many of you think it's hard to find deals at 50% or less than their value right now? Absolutely. Everyone should be saying yes right now because it's very difficult to find big equity deals at 50% and below. They're just not as abundant as they were, a few years back. And okay, I'll admit it as well. I had a very hard time finding wholesale deals. I didn't have massive marketing budgets like the home investors. You see those big billboards all over the big major cities. It's very tough to compete with those guys. That's why I started doing hidden cash flow deals. They're just much easier to do. So how many of you want to compete with the big dogs? I don't want to compete with the big dogs. That's why I shifted into this strategy. It's just much easier to do. How many of you think you can find deals at 85% of the market? Absolutely. Everyone should be saying yes at this moment. These deals are all over the place, and you just got to learn how to tap into these deals so you too can find these properties that do not require a big equity spread to get them done. How many of you think you can find buyers with less than perfect credit to buy houses right now? Absolutely. Everyone should be saying yes right now. 82% of all the buyers cannot qualify for a mortgage right now in today's market. Only about 18% of all those buyers can buy a house through a real estate agent. And if you're not pre-qualified, a real estate agent won't even make appointments for you to go view properties. So yes, this is almost a perfect storm, or actually is the perfect storm right now. Where are the 82% of the buyers going to buy their house from? Right? Where are those subprime products? If you don't have a 680 or 720 credit score, it's going to be very, very difficult for folks to buy properties in today's market right now. So where are the 82% of the buyers going to buy their house from? Can you guys guess? You. That is absolutely right. You are their only solution. The investors that are providing properties to folks to make it easy for them to move into these properties, a very simple qualification process to move in to these houses. You, us, the investors. The investors are the ones that have turned this housing market around, and now we're providing the financing to the 82% of the population that just can't get qualified right now in today's market. I call this the new gold mine. We also call these folks buyers in training, or tenant buyers. So throughout the presentation, if I mention tenant buyer, all I'm just referring to is someone that's going to buy the house and live in the property. So that's all a tenant buyer is. We can create massive cash flow streams from tenant buyers. We absolutely can. There's just an abundance of people that are looking for property to live in, but they don't have to go down to the bank and get qualified for a mortgage. So in a moment, I'm going to show you how to do these hidden cash flow deals. Before that, I want to kind of take you a little bit back into my past, just kind of show you, who I am and what things that I used to be in. And, guys, this is not a joke. I always wanted to be a rock star. I played in a high school band, and I had the dreams of, wanted to go big and become this big rock star, the Poisons and the Motley Crues, and, all these guys were just on top of the world back then, and I felt like that's something that I wanted to do. But look, I realized that it was not going to happen. The reality hit me. I was on my own right out of high school, waiting tables, sofa surfing, renting one bedrooms out of people's apartments and stuff like that. I just realized it wasn't going to happen for me, But the cool thing about it, after all these years, I still play in a rock band. That's still a hobby of mine. I get together with some guys and, we still write music and play out. So I guess the dream's kind of still alive for me, but I just realized it really wasn't going to work out for me. So, this is what I call my backup plan at that point in time. I became a hairdresser. I was an artist. I knew that I wasn't going to fall into the corporate side of the world. That just wasn't who I am. It didn't fit with me, my culture, or anything like that. But when I became a hairdresser, I was living paycheck to paycheck. And that's what a lot of you, I'm sure, can relate to that. I realized I was trading dollars for hours. And I just wasn't able to save any money. It's very difficult to save money and build wealth when you're trading dollars for hours, because there's only so many hours in the day that you can trade those dollars for. And at the end of the day, you have to use that money to pay your expenses, to feed your family, to put a roof over your head, to pay the bills. It's just really, really tough. And, and I thought this was my backup plan, and this was the path that I was on for quite some time. I knew that I had to get out of my job We call that just over broke, JOB. If I wanted to become wealthy, I had some wealthy clients. And, one specifically told me one day, he said, Ian, you're never going to become wealthy with your own two hands, because you have to get yourself in the path of money to become wealthy. Get involved with something larger than you can do yourself. And listen, guys, I know this sounds cliche, but I read that little purple book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and that was one of the first light bulbs that went off in my mind. Is I did not want to be an employee or that specialist in that S quadrant. I wanted to get to the other side, and I made the choice that real estate investing was going to do that for me. I knew that I needed to be in business for myself. I just didn't like having someone tell me what to do, when to do it, what time I needed to be there, and that's just the reality of it. I just knew that I just didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. And, I knew that most millionaires were made from real estate. My entire life, I've heard folks, how did that family become wealthy? Real estate, just over and over and over. How many of you have a backup plan that's just not working out for you right now, and you're looking towards real estate to give you those answers and those dreams and the things that you're looking for as well? I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. So for me, taking the step into real estate, I bought my first house. Actually, this says 2008, but I bought it back in 2006. But I bought my first investment property around 2008. So 2 years prior to 2008 is when I bought my first home. And I'm sure some of you can relate to this. Back in the early 2000s, if you could walk into a bank and fog a mirror and make a signature, you could actually get a bank loan. So that's what I did. That's when I caught the bug for real estate investing. And over the next few years, I've read as many books as I could get my hands on. And that's when I bought my first investment property. It was back in 2008. I started investing in my credit card education, going to seminars, buying courses, just doing that thing over and over and over, trying to figure the business out for myself. It was really, really difficult for me in the beginning. I call it my third college education. But, I put myself out there and I leveraged that debt back in to get the education that I needed to push me forward. And I started doing wholesale deals just like everyone was teaching. I just realized that it just costs a lot of money in marketing to do a lot of volume in wholesale. So, I remember my first wholesale deal, I made $6,000. I put all $6,000 into marketing, and I didn't get another deal because I didn't find enough qualified leads. So wholesaling was tough in the beginning just because I didn't have the big budget to scale that into a big business model. It just didn't really work out for me. Doing wholesale deals, they're very hard to find. There's a lot of competition, and you just don't make a whole lot on each deal. It's a transactional thing. You have to do each deal over and over every single month, month after month. And you just don't get big spreads. Every once in a while you get a big, nice spread on a wholesale deal. But for the most part, they're just small fees, $2, $3, $4, $5,000. Sometimes you get 10 if you're lucky. Maybe some of you, if you've experienced this as well, how many of you have experienced the frustration of trying to scale a wholesaling business? Absolutely, yes. I can completely agree with you. I've been there. I've had those trial and errors. But when I met my partner, we started rehabbing for bigger profits. And, through that experience, I learned so much. We were able to, through my partnership with Bandel, we were able to really kind of put together both of our networks, my knowledge, my network, his knowledge, and his network. And we were able to raise the money and start rehabbing. The thing about rehabbing is we were making money, but we just didn't really have much to show for it. Rehabbing is a very cash-intensive business. And if you're going to try to scale a rehabbing model, you have to have access to a lot of cash. And a lot of times when you're right out of the gate, you don't have access to a lot of cash. Hard money lenders, they want to see you with, $20,000 to $40,000 of cash in your bank account. And those guys will loan you that money, but if you don't have the experience and the team and a little bit of capital behind you, and you're kind of still out of the game on the rehabbing side. Rehabbing is very cash intensive. The thing that we realized was we had money coming in the bank and it would get sucked dry immediately. One time I remember we had 4 rehabs going on. We had $600,000 of borrowed money out into these houses, and we had about $100,000 of cash in the bank account, and literally liquidated it fast. It came out so fast into these houses, it just almost bankrupted us. I will never forget that. We had to start borrowing money off our lines of credit, off our credit cards to float us, because a couple of those properties fell out of escrow because the borrower couldn't secure their financing. There's a lot of things that come up when you're new and you're pushing through rehab deals that you just can't forecast for until you go through the process. It literally almost bankrupted us. That's what rehab did. It almost bankrupted us. So I knew that we had to shift into something different. I knew that we needed a new business model, something different, something that we could build cash flow off of, do a deal one time and keep getting paid over and over and over. The problem that we discovered was rehabbing, it just takes too long to get paid. Some of these houses would take, 3 to 4 months to rehab, and then sometimes it would take 3 to 4 months to sell them. That's just the reality of the business. We weren't getting any passive cash flow from any of these properties after they were sold. How many of you have experienced that? You wholesale 2 properties and there's no cash flow off of them. You got to go wholesale a couple more properties. There's no cash flow off of them. That was our discovery. We knew that we had to shift into something different. The thing about rehabbing houses was we were trying to save money, so we were actually doing the GC work. So we realized that we were getting paid like a job. We were running around to Home Depot. We're running all over town trying to find the best materials at the lowest cost. You burn a lot of gas and burn a lot of time doing that. On top of that, we actually got eaten alive by contractors. There are some good ones, but there are more bad ones out there. You really got to watch out for them. They actually set you up to make more money off of you. I had one even have the audacity to tell me one time after a job, like kind of on the down low, but she didn't even realize what she was doing. But she told me that your scope of work is the small boat and the yacht is the change orders. That is their strategy. So they will minimize the scope of work so they can get you on the change orders and eat you alive all the way down to the end of the deal. Trust me, I've done that. How many of you have been eaten alive by contractors? Yep, we all have. That's just a part of the business. We budgeted $40,000 on one house, and we ended up spending $90,000 to get it done. And that is not an exaggeration. I'll tell you a little bit about this deal. The only thing that we did right on this house was we bought it in one of the hottest markets in Dallas, where houses go up for sale and they're sold within hours. That was the only thing we did right on this house. But we budgeted $40,000. This house had an addition done to it, but it was not a good addition. They built a brick wall around the back of it, put a kind of a tin roof, and then they put shingles on it. So on the outside, it looked like a really nice addition, but from the inside, it was just a big, huge closed-in patio. So we had the bright idea that we were going to blow out the back brick wall of the home and extend the entire home into that addition. Well, our contractor took us by the hand, wrote us up a $40,000 scope of work, and then when they started pulling permits, and by the time it was all done, it literally cost us $90,000 to finish it. We got eaten alive by the city. And once the city gets involved on these big deals, if you haven't budgeted or planned for it properly, it will almost bankrupt you. This was the deal that almost bankrupted us. There were contractor liens on this deal when we finally got to the closing table because our GC wasn't paying their subs. I mean, it got really, really ugly. And this deal literally almost bankrupted us. And that was our discovery. We knew that we had to get out of that model. Not to say rehabbing is not a good business model. It absolutely is. You can make a ton of money doing it. But scaling a real estate business just on rehabbing is not a good strategy. So that's my whole point on that one. And you know what? It's just not as easy as the TV shows make it seem, you know? You know, they don't really show all the ins and outs of the deals. They just like to make a TV show for entertainment. And it's just not as easy as the TV shows make it seem. But, you know, that was our discovery. You know, that was the shift into the hidden cash flow deals. You know, we determined that we needed to bring in deals that can provide long-term passive income. You know, but at the same time, I didn't want to be a landlord. You know, I experienced that aspect of being a landlord. And when you're a landlord, the problems of your tenants become your problems. And that's another thing that I had to learn the hard way. You know, how many of you have experienced that? Right? We all want passive income without the headaches of being a landlord. And that's exactly what all these hidden cash flow deals are about. You know, do the deal one time and keep getting paid every month, month after month, just like a bank. Everyone has a mortgage payment. They send their payment to the bank every single month, month after month. And we knew that we needed to get into a business model like that. You know, we didn't know what it was because there was just nobody teaching this stuff, you know, years back. You know, I'd heard of different buy and hold strategies. I heard about notes and stuff like that, but I just didn't understand it, and I didn't know how to put it together. So that was our shift. That was, you know, the time where I realized that we had to do something different. You know, we had to figure this thing out from scratch, from beginning to end, all the ins and outs, you know, your taxes, your insurance, who pays what, how the note and the deed of trust is structured, the insurance, the servicing, all the ins and outs of, you know, being like be the bank strategy. You know, we had to learn all that from scratch. So we discovered these hidden cash flow deals are the absolute easiest to do. You know, now we can target properties at 85% of the value. You know, how many of you can find properties at 85% of the value? Absolutely you can. They're absolutely everywhere, and all the investors are just overlooking all of this. Everyone's going after the high equity deals, why me and my partners are cherry picking the market and buying properties at 85% of the value. And then we turn right around and sell at a premium. You know, we mark them up 110, 115%, because you're the only person that they can buy from, remember? You know, you are the solution. Investors are the solution to this demographic of buyers. And they are in abundance, and they will come to your houses in droves. Very easy to find. I feel like there's zero competition on these, because when we can target properties at 85% of the market, it eliminates a huge part of your competition, because they're all looking for huge equity. You know, everyone is looking for houses at 50% of the value right now. And, you know, that's not a bad thing. You know, I would love to have houses at 50% of the value on every single one, but the reality of it is it just doesn't happen that way. You know, we don't need cash buyers or qualified buyers that are represented by a real estate agent to get a bank's cash to the table. We're not reliant on investor buyers to cash us out every single time for like wholesaling deals. We just don't need all of that. You know, we discovered that these deals are the easiest. You know, they're night and day over wholesaling and rehabbing. You know, like I was saying, we're talking about scaling a business here, not just doing one deal at a time. You know, yes, you can scale a wholesaling business, but remember, the top guys in my market, I'm sure many markets that you guys are in across the country, they have 20-man acquisition teams, and then they hand it over to their sales force. Then they have 20 people, and each 20 of those people have their own buyers list. That's like the home investors model. You know, same thing with rehabbing. How could you do 10 houses in 1 month? It's impossible to rehab 10 houses in 1 month. I can guarantee you that. You know, tenant buyers are very easy to find, and they have the cash, just less than perfect credit. Remember, 82% of the marketplace can't go down to a bank and get a mortgage right now. So where are they going to buy homes from? You, the investor, absolutely. You are the only option for them, and they will pay you and keep paying you each and every month, month after month, guaranteed. So who wants to make cash flow each month without buying a house and helping people? How many of you? Yes, absolutely. I'll show you how to do that here in a moment. So right here, this is Melissa Osborne. She's a good friend of my partner's, and she wanted to kind of get in and learn about what we were doing. So we brought her into our office and started training her up on what we do. And this is what she wrote. I've been working with GFP for 2 months, and I've already closed 2 properties. The process was easy to learn and didn't take any time whatsoever. So in less than 1 month, 2 houses were bought and sold in the same day, with the only out-of-pocket expense being small deposits. Super easy way to make money. So easy because the realtor and the title company do all the work. That's what I mean by systems. We trained her on the systems that we use in our business, and this is what she had to say about it. So where are we right now? My company's called Golden Falls Properties. We are located in Dallas, Texas. We buy, sell, and carry notes for monthly cash flow. And I'll repeat that. We buy one house and we sell that house. And when we sell it, we exchange the house for a debt instrument, which is called a note. It's basically an IOU. The deed of trust is the debt instrument that collateralizes the money to the house. So if the borrower stops paying, we can take the house back if they don't stick to the terms of the note. So we are located in 2 markets. So our virtual market is Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. That is where my partner is from, Bandel. And he had a network and a team there that he didn't even realize how to tap into until we got together. So our other market, this is our primary market, which is Dallas, Texas. I call this my backyard and my stomping ground. This is where I feel like I have the most knowledge of any market in the country. And look, guys, we are looking to expand the deals we do all over the country. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So back in 2012, coming out of the wholesaling and rehabbing days, we bought some rental properties and we were getting eaten alive by some of those rental properties. I knew that we had to shift. So that's when we started leveraging long-term capital and seller financing for cash flow. That's the beautiful part about this. I love seller financing when sellers will carry back a note for me. It's basically like just free money. So Golden Falls Properties, the most profitable for us has been the buy, sell, carry back a note strategy. It outperforms any other strategy I have ever done, hands down. There's no question that this strategy will outperform any other strategy. And I'm talking about your cash-on-cash returns, your annualized rate of return, the yields that these notes push off on an annual basis is by far the most profitable we have ever seen. So throughout this whole journey and process, we've developed software to run our numbers on, and that combines our buy, sell, and carry back the note strategy. It has taken us just countless numbers of hours and a lot of deals to tweak the software. We know exactly the yields are. We know when our diminishing returns start, how many days go out that we hold the property that we start losing money on. This software tells us everything that we need to know about buying houses, selling houses, and the performance of the note itself. And when I say off the chart ROI, I mean a 25% return on investment is huge right now. What are you getting in the stock market? The gambling, they should call that the gambling stock market. 7, 8, 9% if you're lucky. Where are you going to get 200% on your cash? Other than real estate, there's nowhere to get that. How about 1,000%? And then my favorite, an infinite return. How many of you know what infinite returns are? Yes, infinite returns means when you have none of your own money into the deals, that's when you get into the infinite return category. You just can't measure that number. There's not a metric that can measure when you don't have a dollar of your own cash wrapped up in these deals. How many of you want 25% on your cash? Yes. 200%. Yes, we all do. 1,000%. So this gets me to our aha moment. This was our aha moment. We knew that we were onto something very, very special when we could calculate these numbers and see what our returns are. Our partners and other investors we started showing this to, They saw the aha moment. They had the same feeling that we did. And that's when we knew that we had a winning strategy. So where are we at right now? You know, the software that we built, it automates our business. It crunches all the numbers for us. It tells us what numbers to write into the contract. It does everything for us. Whenever we're going to sell a piece of a partial on a deal, we call that the back end spread. You know, when we want to monetize some of that equity that we have on these houses, you know, those numbers are crunched by this software, and it tells us exactly what to do and what to sell for. You know, we do somewhere around 5 to 10 deals per month. You know, some months are a little heavier on deals, some months are a little lighter. You know, we have about 7 going on right now. You know, any more than that, you know, we do really good off these deals. You know, I don't need to bring in 20, 30, you know, deals a month. I couldn't imagine trying to manage that. I mean, yeah, that sounds, you know, it sounds sexy and all, but even if you automate it, there's still some managing that comes along with all that. So we have about $60,000 a month flowing into the business. Now, that's just not net, pure, passive cash flow. That's a combination of monthly residual payments coming off the notes, you know, down payments from the buyers whenever we sell properties at closing. And then on the back end of these deals, when we sell a partial of the note or sell the entire note, that's when we can monetize some of that back end equity. So this gives us a good range of cash flow streams coming in. We have multiple cash flow streams coming in each and every month. You know, we never had a deal go bad, but up until a very short time ago, we had a borrower that didn't make a payment. So we called him up. Actually, my servicing company called him up. I didn't. And said, hey, you know, Mr. Buyer, 123 Main Street, you know, are you going to be able to make your payment? He's like, you know, he said no, we wasn't going to be able to make it. And he was wanting to leave. So we said, okay, fine. So we just went back to him and said, look, you know, we'll save your credit. We won't report any negative payments on your credit if you just deed us the property back. And you know what? He agreed to do that. You know, that was our first strategy. The second strategy was just to do a cash for keys, which I have had to do over time with rental tenants. You know, pay these people to leave, but in this case, cash for keys would just mean that you pay them to leave and they deed you the property back, and then you get it cleaned up and then sell it to the next person. So up until about a month ago, we had never had a deal go bad, but this one turned around very, very quickly. So I still feel like we never had it really go bad because we got the property back and we turned around and resold it with a down payment and a whole new note and mortgage. So that one worked out. You know, when I say we never had a tenant buyer stop paying us, that was the example that I used. So up until that point, we've never had one stop paying us. And when they did, we just turned the property around very, very quickly and got that house cash flowing again very, very quickly. You know, now we just collect checks and they keep coming in each and every month, month after month after month. How many of you would love to have multiple checks coming in each and every month, month after month? Yes, we all would. Absolutely we would. I'm going to show you a statement of account right now. On the 12th, every month, we get an email that has this statement on it, and it basically just shows the performance of the portfolio, all the little details here about the note, the percentage owned. My company owns 100% of these notes. You can see that there, the interest rate, the average portfolio yield there is 11.259%. That is an amazing number to have capital working for you. The maturity date, the term left, and then the payments there. You can see that. So on the right-hand side over here, you can see that the loan balance, which is the unpaid principal balance of the notes, this particular portfolio has about $640,000 that's unpaid. So that is still kicking off every single month, $6,412 per month. How many of you would love to have $6,400 a month every single month hit your bank account, regardless if you get out of bed or not? Yes, we all would. So listen, this is the 4 cash flow streams right here. Number 1, down payments from tenant buyers. Number 2, monthly cash flow from the payment spread. So if you have a seller carrying back a note for you and you're paying them $200, and then you have your buyer paying you $500, your cash flow spread, your payment spread is $300 net every single month, month after month, and they keep coming in. Number 3, you can sell your tenant buyer's note for cash anytime you want or need it. And this is what I love. You can sell a partial of the note, and that's how you can monetize a piece of your back-end profit. But the most important part about this is you can keep cash flow as well. So if you have a note that's paying you $600 and you sell $200 of it off in a partial, you still have $400 coming in. So that's what's great about partials. Partials are just amazing little tools to bring in money and also keep the cash flow. You know, you decide if you want cash now or cash later. How many of you want cash now? Yes. How many of you want cash later? Yes, we all want both of those. That's what's great about this system. Listen, this is the secret formula to how I set myself up for retirement by building a cash flow stream that anyone can do without using your own money. That's exactly what I have done with this system. So this is the 7-step system. For those of you who want to take some detailed notes throughout this presentation, now would be the time to start. And I'm going to break these down and go through them in a little bit more detail. But just right off the top here, number 1, targeting your market area. Number 2, marketing for leads, bringing those seller leads in. Number 3, making those offers, structuring attractive offers to those sellers. Number 4, getting that property under contract with your sellers, all the ins and outs of that. Number 5, marketing for your hungry buyers, the people that are going to buy these houses and live in them. Number 6, managing the timeline once you get that contract with your buyer. And number 7, my favorite part about the entire strategy is be the bank in cash flow. How many of you want to be the bank? Yes, we all do. How many of you want cash flow? Yes, we all want cash flow. So here we are. Number 1, determining your market. Very, very important. So when you start this strategy, you want to determine the zip codes that fit your buying criteria. So if you're targeting properties at 85% of the market in a certain demographic range, you want to make sure that you know exactly what zip codes that those are in. Where's the rental market in your area? Where are the nice, clean houses in your area, in your zip codes that will fit this buying criteria? You want to keep the monthly payments comparable to the rentals in the neighborhood. So if you're in a market where the rentals are, $150,000 houses with, $1,500 a month rents, then that would be an area for you to target. So you want to make sure that you know exactly what zip codes that's in. Now, if you're in an area where the houses are $500,000 and are renting out for $3,500 a month, then you can target those neighborhoods as well. You just have to understand where those houses are in the zip codes in your backyard, in your market. I like to start at the lowest price point and work your way up. I just found that it's easier to target the low income areas. I can just move in and out of those markets much, much faster. Now I move all the way up into the medium price point and up. I can't really control where all my leads come in from, but I can control what houses I make offers on. So knowing the zip codes that I want to buy in, I know exactly what my offer is in all these markets. And I can make an offer to a seller that's very, very attractive for them. Look, we can show you how to target the best tenant buyer neighborhood. Talk a little bit about it. We go into a lot more detail about this. So, when you're targeting your market area, something that's very, very important for you to understand is you can target any area because this strategy works on any price range, including the higher end. It does not matter the price range. You can do this with $50,000 houses and all the way up to $750,000, $800,000, $900,000. It doesn't matter. It's the skill of putting the deal together is what makes this whole system come together. The goal is just to have a spread between the purchase price and the monthly payment. You know, I have so many people get hung up on price. All I'm concerned about is the spread on that price. You know, I don't need to know exactly how much in repairs is this going to cost. I don't need to know all these things. I just need to know, can I put a spread between the payments and a spread between the prices, the purchase price and the sale price. You know, the monthly payment going to my seller and then the monthly payment coming in from my borrower. That's the only thing that I really focus on, is the spread between these two. Look, you'll never have to come up with any cash of your own, because you can leverage cash from buyers to pay your down payments to the sellers. And that's a huge, huge golden nugget. And I hope some of you really, really take this in right now, because everybody should be marketing for sellers, marketing for buyers, and making offers. If you can't do those three things, you will never be successful in real estate. But I'm giving this to you right now. This is the easiest way to get it done. Leverage cash from your buyers. For an example, if you're running marketing campaigns out there, if you're running Craigslist ads, and you're driving those leads to you, and you start pre-screening those buyers, and somebody says they have $40,000, $50,000 to put down, guess what? You now have $40,000 to $50,000 to leverage to make a down payment on a property to get under contract. And I think so many people overlook this one thing right here. So I can't stress enough, this is a major, major golden nugget right now. You know, you'll never have to come up with any cash of your own, because you can just leverage cash from buyers to pay your down payments to the sellers. So number two, find the deals from the free lead sources. You know, we have over 15 ways to find deals that are guaranteed. And actually, there are hundreds of ways to find deals. You know, I have a marketing matrix that is so long and so big, but I don't need to go down through all the different ways to find deals. You know, it's marketing is an art. And if you know where to tap, it's a lot easier to find them. You know, you'll have more deals than you can handle just from all the free lead sources that we can show you how to tap into. You know, I'm going to give you a really great golden nugget right now. Code violations are a great source, and you can get those leads free from your county. You can do an open record search either online or call down to the county and tell them that you want code violations in these specific zip codes, and it's public record. You may have to pay for the paper that they print the leads on, but they're still free. So that's another golden nugget right there. So target your local market areas. You know, you can target your backyard. You can target the town over from you. You can basically build an automated business around this system, because you're not required to do major rehab. You're just getting the properties under contract and bringing in a buyer quickly to close on them and leverage their capital. Match the deals with where your tenant buyers are at. You know, where are these folks looking to move? You know, targeting your schools, finding out all the little small pockets within a metroplex of where the demand is. Very, very powerful. So I'm going to jump right into a case study here. 1233 Lakeside Drive. This is in Garland, Texas. Now, this property had been sitting on the MLS for a little over a year. And there was a renter in this property. So I came across this property, made an offer on the house, and this was what my offer was: a $44,000 purchase price with an $8,000 down payment. Now, why would somebody take that deal? Well, number one is the guy who owned the house was renting it to the family that was living there. The gentleman living in the house had been there for 10 years. So this guy likes cash flow. So he wanted to get rid of the house, and he also wanted to carry back some cash flow. So in my offer, I asked him to finance $36,000 to me on a note, $240 a month for 150 months. And guess what? 0% interest. He took the deal. This is just the offer that I presented to him. So $8,000 down. I financed $36,000 with 0% interest. How amazing is that? I just made the offer and he took it. So I turned around, contacted the gentleman living in the property, right? So in my contract period, I negotiated a deal with the tenant living in the property. I told him he had two choices. One, he could buy the house from me, and I'd make it very, very, very simple for him. Two, he could move out. He didn't want to move out. There was a beautiful school right across the street from this house. So I sold him the house for $66,000 with a $10,000 down payment, and I financed $56,000 on a note for 21 years at 12% interest. So my principal interest payment coming in from the guy living in the house is $609.67. Now, his taxes and insurance are on top of that. He's required to pay the taxes and insurance. I'm not the landlord. I'm the bank, remember? I slid in there, negotiated a price and terms to buy the house, and during my contract period, I negotiated price and terms with the tenant living in the house. He accepted, both parties accepted my terms. So when we closed the deal, I walked away with about $2,000 at closing with a monthly cash flow of $369.69. Now here's the great part about this. If you take that net cash flow of $369.69 for 21 years at 12% interest, this is what it produces over the next 21 years, $93,161.88 on a deal that I didn't have any of my own money in. I just had the skill to go negotiate the transaction with the seller and with the buyer. How many of you would like to make $93,000 off of a house over the next 21 years that you didn't have a dime of your own money into? Absolutely you would. This is exactly what the hidden cash flow fortune system is all about, creating these types of deals. So number 3, making offers on the deals you like. You know, because of the hidden cash flow fortune strategy, I don't need to make offers on every single house that come across my plate. You know, I only make offers on the ones that I know that I can do the best negotiation and get the deals closed. So, you know, you have zero competition when you're targeting these types of deals. You know, the software does all the work for you and tell you if you have a high profit deal or not. We use our software for absolutely everything that we do in this business. And later on, I'm going to tell you how you can get this for free. So we feel like we have zero competition on the buying side. We have zero competition on the selling side. And we feel like this is literally virtual monopoly for cash flow. The world is your endless game of cash flow. How many of you would like to have your own monopoly board of cash flow? Exactly, just like that little lakeside deal that I walked you through. So number 4, getting that property under contract with your sellers. You know, once you execute that contract with your seller, you're going to get it over to the title company. You know, all the terms of that agreement, the title company is going to honor and lay that out on the HUD. So, you know, you send it to the title company to start the process. You know, and that's what I love about great title agents is they understand what we're doing. They understand investors and how we buy and sell properties, and they keep that anonymity between the two parties. You know, they don't tell your sellers what you're doing, and they don't tell your buyers what you did. They understand that this is an investing game, and they are quite all right to do that. So you control the deal when it's your title company. So building that team of professionals and really, really having someone that understands this type of transaction is very, very powerful. You know, the title company handles all the details on the transaction. You know, they set the HUDs up. The HUD 1 statement basically just dictates who pays what on each transaction. You know, this is so easy. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. I actually told my partner, Bandel, one night, after we'd done about 7 of these in a row, very, very fast, I told him this was like shooting fish in a cup. I couldn't believe it. You know, we just had so much less effort pushing into these types of deals than we ever did with wholesaling and rehabbing. So we're going to jump right in here to another case study, 819 Jardine Drive in Mesquite, Texas. Now, this one right here, when I mean no competition on deals, this is the perfect example of no competition on deals. I got this lead from an expired listing that I did a marketing campaign to. So I had the seller call me up. They wanted their $55,000. They didn't budge. It sat on the MLS for over a year. And for whatever reason, no one came across and bought this house. They weren't willing to drop their price. Qualified buyers aren't buying $55,000 houses. If someone can get qualified for a mortgage, they're going to buy a nicer house, $80,000, $150,000, because FHA, all you have to do is write a check for 3% down at closing. So for whatever reason, this house didn't sell. I pulled the expired listings from my agent. I did a mail marketing campaign to them, and this was my offer to the seller, and they accepted it. $55,000 purchase price, $10,000 down payment. Seller carried back a note from me for $45,000. The monthly payment is $183.67 for 245 months. And once again, 0% interest. How many of you would like 0% financing? I think they only do that in the automobile industry these days, and they make their money off points and fees. But for whatever reason, this seller accepted my offer. So here's the cool part. Is I didn't really have to mark it up that high. I just marked it up to $63,000. That's not a huge spread off of 55. And you know what? I got really, really lucky on this one. This house was actually vacant at the time that I bought it, so it was a little bit easier for me to get people in and out of there. So we had a lead come in from our signs, because as soon as we get these houses under contract, we blanket the area with our bandit sign. And we got a ton of calls, but this is the call that we like the most. Down payment. They had $25,000 to put down on a house. And they got that money from the sale of an estate that one of their grandparents had passed away. So they had some money coming in, and they wanted to buy a house in this neighborhood. So that's how they were able to put down such a large payment. You know, not all of our payments are that big, but we just got really lucky with this one, and this one worked out very, very well for us. So the sales price, I sold it for $63,000. They put a $25,000 down payment down. Then I carried back a $38,000 note for 21 years at 10% interest. So the principal interest payment is $361.30. You know, these aren't really, really huge numbers, but they're just a lot easier to put together. And if you're in a market that's higher price, just add a zero to these numbers. That's all you got to do. Just add a zero and you get to your number. So we had closing costs around $15,000 of that wouldn't be our net number. That's why I did all these numbers, just rounded them out like that, just to make it easy for the presentation. So that was about a gross number there. Yes, we had some closing costs and fees to pay there. But here's the really neat part. We had $177.63 a month for 21 years. And over that time period, this house is going to produce $43,519.35 if they carry it through the entire amortization period. How many of you would like to make $43,000 over 21 years on a house that you had none of your own money into, and you walked away from closing with a $15,000 check and $177 a month? Yes, we all would. That's exactly what these hidden cash flow deals are targeting, these exact strategies right here. So number 5, marketing for buyers. This is where I really, really love this part of the business. You know, owner finance houses are the easiest type of houses to sell. When we put our signs out, you know, I don't take all those calls in. I have a call center take those calls in. And then I've automated that aspect of our business, and then I direct all those leads over to our agent, and we have them pre-screen all those leads, and then they set up the appointments and the open houses to push all the buyers to. And then we make it a bidding frenzy. Whoever has the highest down payment gets the house. That's what I mean. These houses are very, very easy to sell, because when you provide the financing, that is just a golden ticket for somebody. You know, you're selling to people that cannot buy houses from an agent on the MLS. It's just tough. Owner finance houses sell just a lot faster because you're not contingent on having a qualified buyer that can get a bank loan and cash you out. You don't have to go through that long underwriting period. You just move through the deals a lot faster. Look, these people will bang your door down to buy your houses every single time you put these signs out. And then that's how you're able to really line these deals up where you can start moving through inventory faster, because every time you put a marketing campaign out to draw in buyers, your list gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, just in about 4 months, I built a list of about 600 and something buyers. And every time we get a house under contract, I send out a little mass text blast and email and just drive all that traffic back to the houses. They will literally bang your door down. You know, their cash is their credit. Yes, there is some qualifying that you have to do with these folks to stay in compliance with Dodd-Frank. And you just simply have to prove that they have a stable job and they have income, bank statements, tax returns. So yes, there is a small little qualifying that you have to do with them to stay in compliance, but that's it. Their cash is their credit. Yes, you can sell to somebody that has beat up credit, but if you qualify them properly, then you are covering your assets. You are staying in compliance with the rules and regulations. And I know there's a lot of fuss over Dodd-Frank, but all the fuss is coming from folks that just don't understand how to properly do the strategy. And that's it. That's it. You know, you are providing the American dream to people. You know, folks that come to this country, you know, that weren't born here, you know, they are so much more ambitious than the folks that were born here. Everyone these days are entitled, that don't want to work and want to take handouts out. So the people that are really, really striving to make a better environment for their families, you know, they really, really love you when you can sell them a house with owner financing and provide that American dream of home ownership. Remember, you are the answer for these folks. So number 6 of the system, getting that contract, you know, locked up with your tenant buyer. You know, you want to get that same contract over to the title company that handles all the details and closes the deal for you. And I like to push all the closing costs off on my buyer when they buy, and then I like to push all my closing costs off on the sellers when I buy from them. But everything is negotiable. Look, we can connect you to all of our partners with our national title company that knows our process, and they understand, you know, how we buy and sell these houses, and our loan servicing company. Very important. You know, the loan servicing company handles the escrows for the taxes and the insurance. They send out the coupon booklet for the people to, you know, mail their checks in. They can set up the automatic debits if they want to have their, you know, their debit accounts, you know, just wire the money in every month so they never miss a payment. We can get you guys connected to all these folks and professionals. You know, they do all the work for you. That's what's so beautiful about building and scaling an automated business. You put these systems in place, and we can help you put systems in your business as well. The service company handles the taxes and the insurance escrows. They make sure the insurance is on the property. They make sure that the taxes are current every single calendar year. That's what I love about having a great team of professionals. So right here, we're going to jump right into another one of our portfolios. Now this one here shows, let's see here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, about 10 properties, you know, 10.6% interest. The unpaid principal balance of this portfolio is about $510,000, and every single month, $5,600 is being debited into our business account off this one portfolio here in Texas. The one that I showed you before was from Oklahoma City. This is just a small one here in Texas that my company owns 100% of the note. You know, if I sold off, you know, 20% of each one of these notes, it would show a different ratio, and then those investors would be on there showing exactly how much capital they're getting every single month. So that's what I love about the servicing company, August REI, LLC, located in Garland, Texas. They call them up. They can really get you set up quickly. That is be the bank. The number 7, be the bank for cash flow. That last statement that I just showed you is be the bank for cash flow. This is an autopilot cash flow. You don't even need to collect the checks every month. The servicing company does it for you. Your tenant buyers pay you each and every month, month after month. You can decide if you want to keep the cash flow, sell a partial, or just sell the entire note. That's what's great about being the bank and being your own boss. You decide what strategy you want to go with and what's going to fit your business needs the most. You spend the money how you choose. If you want to scale your business, you can choose to do that. If you want to take vacations, you can choose to do that. That's what is so beautiful about the hidden cash flow strategy. You're the bank. You choose to do what you want to do. So once again, here's the hidden cash flow fortune system. It creates 4 massive cash flow streams with zero competition. You don't need cash buyers, private money, high equity deals. You don't need all those investors. You don't need to rely on wholesaling, rehabbing, contractors. Unsuspected surprises can literally put you out of business. You do not need to rely on all that other stuff. So this is the 4 cash flow streams. Once again, down payments from your tenant buyers, monthly cash flow from the payment spread, sell your tenant buyer's note for cash anytime you need it or you want it. Number 4, you can sell a partial of the note, monetize your back-end profit, and keep cash flow. You decide if you want cash now or cash later. How many of you would love to have cash now? Yes, we all would, right? How many of you would love to have cash later? We absolutely want to keep cash later. So who wants a license to print money? How many of you out there want a license to print money? Right? Hidden cash flow deals are literally your license to print money. And your tenant buyers will keep sending it to you each and every month, month after month. So who wants cash flow? Who wants to do deals that no one else can do, that, everyone is relying on these big fat equity deals? You don't need to rely on those. You imagine if you had this little printing press in your closet, how many people would you tell about it? Probably not many, right? So if you had your own printing press, what would you do with it? This is a lifestyle. This should be, the things that you want to enjoy in life. Would you buy that fancy car if you could print money? Would you go to those fancy resorts, or, would you build your dream home? Or, like myself and most people, we just want to be able to spend time, with our family and do the things that we want to do, whenever we want to do it. So the secret to long-term wealth is cash flow. So how many of you want to build long-term wealth? Yes, we all do. We all want to build long-term wealth. And listen, guys, I am living proof that anyone can do this. I'm living proof, I left the house when I was 18 years old. I didn't go get fancy degrees. I chased the rock star dream. I did the hairdressing thing. I made a lot of money, but golly, I was trading dollars for hours. And I just realized that the key to long-term wealth was cash flow. But not only that, into assets that pay you residually month after month, over and over and over. So now, who wants to know how you can go do the same thing? How many of you want to know how to go out there and do the same thing? Yes. The hidden cash flow fortunes. That's exactly what this program is all about. Hidden cash flow fortunes. So the hidden cash flow fortunes, this step-by-step 7-module system will reveal how to do one deal and get paid every month on autopilot. The 15 sources of finding zero competition deals, how to create and grow 5-figure massive cash flow streams, how to sell houses in days to tenant buyers, and how to guarantee your monthly cash flow. And also, how to cash out at will for big equity paydays. This is exactly what the hidden cash flow fortune system is all about. So these are your potential cash flow streams. Number one, find a deal and refer it to us. A $1,500 to $10,000 per deal, case by case. Number two, down payments from your tenant buyers. If you want to go ahead and take the deal down yourself and you've negotiated some great terms, and you have your buyer lined up and you want to keep a piece of that cash flow for the long term, and you want to monetize that big equity in the back, that you can basically get that down payment from those tenant buyers. Monthly cash flow every single month coming in from the spread on the payments. And then number four, if you're going to sell your tenant buyer's note, you can sell it to us for cash anytime you want or need it. How can we do this? We partnered with a hedge fund for our business. That sole purpose is to buy notes from our hidden cash flow deals. That's all our hedge fund wants from us. They want notes, and we are trying to produce as many notes to them as we possibly can. So when you partner with us, you will get access to our hedge fund as well. How many of you would like to have access to a hedge fund? Yes, we all would. Now, you can sell properties with owner financing to 82% of the buyers in the marketplace that can't get qualified with a bank or buy a home through a real estate agent right now. Now is the opportunity. So why are we doing this? We are expanding our business, and we are looking for motivated people to help us grow our business. We realize that we just don't have enough time in the day, and we want to expand the number of deals that we're doing, and we want to offer you folks the ability to partner with us and help us grow our business, and in return, we will help you grow your businesses as well. So we'd like to invite you to partner with us and either simply refer deals to us, or we can buy the note from you on the deals and cash you out of those. So either you can refer them to us, we can pay you a fee, or you can put the deal together and we can buy the note, so it's your choice. We will teach you everything you need to do and provide the funding that you need to do as many deals as you want to do. How powerful is that? Partner with a hedge fund that we can do this partnership and bring deals in the door and get paid over and over and over. So your success and my hidden cash flow fortunes are both guaranteed. Now, who wants to be my next successful partner? How many of you out there want to be my next successful partner? Absolutely. So look, this is from Tom, and Tom just sent me this email and just says, Ian, I just wanted to write you this email and let you know how impressed I am with your program and the knowledge that you bring to the table. Not only that, but you are true to your word. Within 30 days of starting your program, I was able to partner with you on a deal. Not only did it put several $1,000s in my pocket, but reimbursed the cost of the program, just like you said you would. I'm looking forward to doing many more deals together and would recommend anyone considering your course to pull the trigger and start getting to work. Thanks again for all your help, Tom Rummel. Well, guys, if you want to be just like Tom, if you're ready to get started, then you can go over to gethiddencashflow.com and you can get registered and start downloading this content. It's available right now. One of the things I want to point out is, imagine if you had the missing piece to your real estate investing puzzle. When I first got started, I had a lot of pieces of the puzzle that were missing, and I just couldn't put them together. Whether it be the partnership or, having access to funding or just to know exactly what I needed to do next to put those deals together. If you could imagine what that would be like, having that missing piece to your puzzle, what would that be for you? Would it be the ultimate lifestyle? Would you take your 9-to-5 clothes off and run and go jump in the open water? What would that look like for you? Some of the tools and some of the things that have really helped me out over the years, and I want to offer that as an opportunity for you folks as well. So this is going to be my first mega bonus number 1, and this is going to be available for the first 20 people who take action right now. Now, this software, we call it our Hidden Cash Flow Deal software. My partner and I have spent countless hours and years to develop this. I mean, every single deal that we do in our business goes through this software. So you see on side A here, you can input all the information on the acquisition of the property. You can add all the expenses there. And on side B, you put in all the information there. And then on the side C, it populates the performance of the note. So you know exactly what the note is doing. You know exactly what your profit is. And if you wanted to sell a partial, you go up here where you see 20%, you would type in, 15, 20, 30%, and it populates the numbers for you. And that's very, very powerful. So we know exactly what our profits are. If we want to monetize some of our back-end equity, we can do that. And then we can also see what our cash flow is. So this is my mega bonus number one. For those who take action, you'll get immediate access to this piece of software. So bonus number two here is one of my favorites. We call it the free lead generator. Now what this little guy does is you load it up on your computer and you can go to multiple websites and you can set up a crawler. And what it does is it goes in by these keywords, let's say on Craigslist, and it automatically pulls every single ad that is in Craigslist and it drops it right into your inbox. It finds motivated leads for you. And then you can set up one for a buyer campaign. So when you're looking for those hungry buyers, you can set this up really rich with keywords, and it pulls all of those leads directly into your inbox. And let me tell you, this thing will have so many leads in your inbox, you will literally either have to turn it off or hire someone else to do it for you because there will be so many leads. And, the value of this guy is almost $2,000. Bonus number three, I know I really want to help everyone out. So we're going to give you a resource center that has all the documents and potential contracts that you will ever need to do any type of deal whatsoever, no matter what it is. All the marketing materials, the marketing copies that I use in my postcard campaigns, my direct mail campaigns, the letters that we use, the scripts that we use for buyers, the seller scripts, and much, much more. You'll have immediate access to those downloads for the first 20 people that take action right now. So this is my big bonus number 4. Now this is the partnering program. Now this is what I didn't have when I was first starting out. So we are looking for deals. We want your deals, and we want it to be a win-win situation for everybody that comes on board with this. And guys, I really can't put a price on this. I feel like this is absolutely priceless. So once again, for the first 20 people that take action right now, we want your deals. We're looking to expand our business as much as we possibly can. And once you come on board with us, we're going to have a dedicated support staff for a lifetime. As long as you are on board with us, you have an implicit amount of, energy and effort that we can put into you and help you with your deals. Whatever you need, just send over the support desk an email. We'll promptly, respond to you. If you need to get on and do a conference call with us, myself, my partner, my staff can get on there and help you iron out all your deals. And, when I first started, I didn't have somebody that I could reach out to for anything that I needed. And that's what I'm offering to you folks, is a dedicated support staff. And we are here to help you put deals together for your own portfolio and also bring deals to us that we can partner with. So once again, if you want to take action right now and start making money the easy way, we want you to go over to gethiddencashflow.com. And once again, for the first 20 people that take action right now, is going to get those downloads, and they're going to be available for you the moment you log into the system. So bonus number 5, here's a great one. Now this is going to be 2 free tickets to one of our 3-day events that will be coming up. We'll let you guys know when the next one comes up. And this is going to be a 3-day from A to Z, how me and my partners, we set up our legal structures of our companies, how we go out and network with all the different legal professionals, what to say, what to do when you sit down with them, how we draft our offers. We're going to do case study after case study after case study. We're going to go through marketing. We're going to go through marketing for buyers, marketing for sellers, going through the scripts and the back and forth communication, with which I feel a lot of people have, a big hurdle for right in the beginning, because negotiating with sellers is very difficult in the beginning. So we're going to help you iron all that out in our 3-day workshop. And once again, this is for the first 20 people that take action. right now, you're going to get 2 free tickets to our next Hidden Cash Flow workshop. So here's a breakdown of what you're getting today. You're going to be getting the Hidden Cash Flow Fortune System. It's a 7 step-by-step module system where I go into detail of every little aspect of putting these deals together. You're also going to get the Hidden Cash Flow Deal software. Now, this is the big one. This is the one that me and my partner have taken years to develop. You know, I'm not a finance guy, but luckily for me, my partner is. So we were able to create creative real estate investing with a financial guy to help put this together. So you're going to get immediate download for that software. You're going to get unlimited access to my team. And that's absolutely priceless because consulting these days is absolutely expensive. You're also going to get the free lead generator download. You're going to get the 3-day Hidden Cash Flow workshop. You know, once again, we take you through the entire business. We don't hold anything back. And then the big one, the big bonus is the partnering program. We're looking for deals. We are looking to partner with folks. We're looking to build relationships to grow our business and also give back to those folks who want to take us, you know, go on this journey with us as well. You know, folks, so if you were to break all this down, you know, your total investment for all of this would be somewhere over $10,480. You know, if all this system did for you was put a check for $10,000 in your bank account over the next 30 days, would it be worth the investment? You know, absolutely it would. You know, if all this system did for you was have the ability to bring your notes and your deals to partner with us so we could offload those to the hedge fund, you know, where you could do multiple deals a month, and over the next 12 months that you've done, you know, 10 or 20 deals, would it be worth the investment? You know, absolutely it would. You know, when I first started in the real estate investing game, you know, I spent a lot of money on my education. You know, just like Brian was telling you in the beginning, you know, I was going to seminars, I was doing the webinars, I was buying books, everything that I could get my hands on. You know, I invested in myself. I invested in my education. So I feel it's a very, very important to continue to invest in yourself. So if all this system did for you, once again, was to put $10,000 to $20,000 in your pocket over the next 30 to 45 days, you know, would it be worth it to you? You know, absolutely it would. So, you know, today and today only, everything that you see, the software downloads, the 3-day Hidden Cash Flow workshop, the partnering program, the unlimited access to myself and my team, everything that you see for only $5,000. But you know what? You know, Brian is a great friend of mine, and I want to give everybody the opportunity to help grow their lives in all aspects. You know, so we're not going to do this for $2,500. You know, we're not even going to do it for $2,000. So everything that you see today, the partnering program, the hidden deal software, the free lead generator, the 3-day event, all the personal, you know, one-on-one interaction that you need from us, we can help you iron your deals out today and today only for $14.97. And those folks who take action right now, we're going to be able to give you those downloads for absolutely free as a big bonus for coming on board with us this evening. So once again, go to gethiddencashflow.com and take action right now. So who wants to get this training for free? Absolutely. So I'm going to tell you right now how you can get this training 100% free. So over the next 12 months, do you feel that you can bring us one deal that we close on? Absolutely. So if you bring us one deal over the next 12 months, we will credit back your investment that you made in our system, and that is all you have to do. And you have unlimited access to my team. You're getting the 3-day workshop. You're getting the hidden deal software. You're getting the free lead generator. And folks, bring me one deal over the next 12 months, and I will credit back your investment that you made in yourself to partner with us and do deals together. So once again, for those who take action right now, for the next 20 people, they're going to get these fast action bonuses. You can go to gethiddencashflow.com and then you can get started and download this content and get it working as fast as you want to do it. So Brian, thank you for having me on. I feel like I've given everybody a lot of golden nuggets tonight, and I'm just so grateful that you brought me on your call with your subscribers.
Well, Ian, that's just an incredible opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, this one makes sense. Get on board. This hidden cash flow deal strategy just really fits our times, and it really fits those of you who are looking to generate both large chunks of income and ongoing cash flow. You can really engineer these deals to make them fit exactly what you need. And the great part is that they're going to work with you while you learn. Folks, this isn't just a training program. It's a training program that comes with the opportunity to work directly with Ian and his team and his hedge fund. Now, guys, they're so eager to work with you. And this is just going to be such a perfect fit. But you need to be serious about working with him. And really all he's asking for is a deposit to let him and his team know that you are serious about doing some real business. And it just doesn't get much better than this. So I strongly, completely confidently recommend that you take advantage of this while it's still available. Go to www.gethiddencashflow.com. Again, gethiddencashflow.com. Do it right now. Now, Ian, we'll need to close this down so he can get to work with the people that take action and sign up to work with him. And you want to make sure that you're one of the first 20 to sign up to make sure you get all the fast action bonuses. That's critical. His office does have a timestamp on when he receives them, so they'll know if you're in the first 20 or not. So head over right now and sign up at www.gethiddencashflow.com. Gethiddencashflow.com. Ian, we've had a bunch of questions that have come in, and there's no way we have time to get to all of them. So if we don't choose yours, please don't be insulted. We'll answer you offline. But Ian, do you have a few minutes to answer just 4 or 5 of these questions?
Absolutely, Brian. Just fire away, bud.
Excellent. Now, question number 1 that I want to ask you. This is an interesting one. Does this strategy work in virtual markets?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We operate all over the country. We started in my backyard in Dallas, and then we expanded into Oklahoma City, and then we brought partners on board, and we started doing deals outside of that. It's very easy for us to do deals around the country because we know how to execute these deals from beginning to end, and we just need motivated people to help us, get out there, boots on the ground, and make this happen. So absolutely, yes, you can definitely do this strategy in any market across the country, including the virtual markets that you are not in.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, notes is an area of expertise for me. In fact, I'm speaking at a very big conference in about 3 weeks, actually in your backyard, Ian, in Dallas. In about 3 weeks from now, that is a conference specifically for note investors. And ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you that this strategy, particularly the partial strategy, is something you've got to learn. I think that is the most powerful, most flexible tool for smart real estate investors that exists anywhere. It allows you to engineer your deals and get out of them exactly what you want to get out of them. And since Ian's team and his hedge fund is behind this offer, and you have an opportunity to partner with them to get your deals sold off, the opportunity couldn't be better. I mean, it's just perfect. Now, Ian, I've had a lot of people chime in and say, I've never done this before. I'm new to investing. Can this work for new investors?
That's a great question, and the answer is yes, absolutely. These hidden cash flow deals, they work well for beginners because you don't have much competition. Most experienced investors in your town, in your backyard, they're fighting over the high equity deals. So these deals are very easy to find right now, and you don't have a lot of investors competing for these types of deals. And that's exactly what the training's about. We show you how to go out there, target these sellers, make these offers, and put these deals together. So absolutely, yes, if you've never done a deal before, this is great because you don't rely on big, massive equity spreads to get the deals done.
Awesome. A lot of my readership is out west, particularly in California, where they don't have $50,000 houses like some of the examples you gave, Ian. So we're getting a lot of questions from some of the folks who live in the world where $400,000 or $500,000 houses are the bottom end baseline, and they go up from there. So there's the question: does this work in places where the houses are a lot higher priced than $50,000?
Absolutely they are. I realize in my case studies that, my examples were on the lower end. That just happens to be where there's an abundance of the properties in my area. I like to say add a zero. So absolutely, yes. If you're in a market where the properties are $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, the cool part about that is you're just going to make more per deal. For example, if a property's worth, $450,000, 90% of that is a little over $400,000. If you can buy that property at 90%, mark it up just a little bit to $460 or $470, that's a big, huge spread, $60,000 or something like that. So my focus is more on the spread between the payments and the price, and not the discount that you're trying to get as other strategies are contingent on. Now, you have to have big spreads for wholesaling, big spreads for rehabbing, but you do not have to have big spreads. I love the saying when I say this to sellers, I can pay your price if you sell on my terms. All I do is focus on the spread. So yes, the strategy works on the big price points.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, just to give you a little update, most, I can't count them here because we are live, but most of those 20 spots are gone at this point. And I'll be sending some emails to thank you guys individually who have already gotten involved. You've made a great decision. I think there are 4 spots left, if I'm counting correctly in front of me. If you want to take one of those 4 spots, what you need to do is go to gethiddencashflow.com. Again, www.gethiddencashflow.com. And this is another common question that I've had come in several times. I don't have a lot of money. Can I do this without putting a lot of money into these deals?
Yeah, absolutely, Brian. I'm glad, one of your subscribers asked that question, because when I got started in this business, I didn't have, a lot of money. I had to figure out how to do these deals. That's what this system is all about. We assume that you don't have money, so we show you how to get out there and do deals without using your own money. That's the best way to learn. Here's another golden nugget. I've talked about this before, is when you're marketing for buyers and you're getting those leads coming in and you find somebody that has $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, you can leverage that capital to make as a down payment.
Right.
I love doing that because you can, when you market and you find somebody with 50 grand, you just have to have the mindset that now you have 50 grand to go negotiate a deal. So you go out there and either find one from another investor if you don't have inventory at the time, or just go target a motivated seller and make a significant down payment. $40,000 is a $10,000 spread. So yes, you can put the deals together. It's just about the skill of where to target, how to structure the deals, and how to close them. So absolutely, you can do this without having money.
This is so exciting to me because this is a this is a strategy very similar to how I built my real estate portfolio for many years. Ladies and gentlemen, this works. This is something that absolutely is real. So folks, those were some just great questions, and I'm so glad we were able to get those answered for you. If you entered a question, we haven't answered it yet. We will try to get to that directly by email or something like that. So please don't think we're ignoring you. But remember, there are only 20 fast action bonuses total, and the vast majority of them are gone already. In fact, there have been a couple more taken even since the last time I gave you an update. So go right now to www.gethiddencashflow.com. Again, that's gethiddencashflow.com. This is something you don't want to miss. This is a game changer. This works. This is something I recommend. Do it, folks. Do it. Ian, I just want to thank you for taking the time to share your strategies with us today. And man, this is exciting stuff. This is something I just really want my people to get a hold of. So guys, just do it. It makes sense. Now, Ian, is there anything else you'd like to add before we close?
You know what? Just once again, thank you. And for anybody that's coming on board or even on the fence, once again, you have access to myself and my staff. We're here for you. We're, anything that you need to help you iron these deals out for your own portfolio, or even if you bring them to us, that's what we are here for. So just take action on that. And good luck to you, and I'll be looking forward to building that relationship with all of you going forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are done. It's time to make your decision. Go to www.gethiddencashflow.com right now. Folks, thank you for being here. I appreciate you and your time. The time to make a decision is now. Gethiddencashflow.com. Goodbye, everyone. Appreciate your time.